Hello. It's been a long time, family, but it's good to be here. I don't know how many times I've tried to post and share something, whether I get distracted by my toddler, my 2-year-old, or my mind gets distracted, or I'm like, Anyways, I just knew I just needed to hop on here real quick and just get the energy flowing in terms of sharing content, but really, content is just insight, resources, things that I'm being inspired by. I'm in my car. It's like very few places I get alone time. So if you're a mom with a baby, you understand what I mean. We get the car or walks or whatever that looks like. And that's actually why I hopped on here, is to talk about the importance of, yes, self-care, right? We all hear that. But as new mothers, that whole notion of self-care is like, okay, yeah, but what is the best form of self-care when you have such limited time? And the older that she gets, naturally she's more autonomous. I get more autonomous. I'm able to have more time to myself and put towards my work and just other areas of my life that I feel are really important. But the truth of the matter is, still 2 years later, I have limited energy. I have been co-sleeping with her for 2 years. I still breastfeed her, but usually like to go to sleep. And then throughout the night, depending on wherever she's at developmentally, she'll wake up and she'll want to breastfeed. So my nights are still being interrupted. So I wake up sometimes not fully rested. And honestly, I don't even remember the last time I've had 8 hours of sleep, but it is what it is. So my thing is like, okay, well, the limited amount of time that I have, how do I optimize it, right? And honestly, we all have a limited amount of energy. So how are we utilizing our energy? That's something I've been processing and grounding and really, even researching, trying to figure out, how to keep my whole body, mind, and spirit optimized, so the ways that I may be draining my energy, and I may not even realize I'm draining my energy, I want to make sure that I have enough energy to keep thriving, especially when you have a limited amount of sleep, limited amount of time to self. The amount of energy that you do have for yourself, for recharging, for your work, or other areas in your life that are just as important as taking care of your child. Yes, taking care of your child is definitely on the top list, of course. Taking care of another human. You want them to live and thrive. But, at the same time, you got to take care of yourself. And if you're working for yourself, like I am, or if you're working, period, you want to make sure you have time for that and you have the energy for that too, right? So that's been my thing, is how to balance it all. And honestly, I'm still figuring it out. But what's exciting, or what I've been inspired by, is just how to optimize our energy, period, right? So, for example, when I started learning more about blue lights and how blue light is gets emitted when you're looking at your cell phone, TV, and you can feel that energy too. Especially at nighttime, you can feel the potency of the lighting of your screen, from your phone to your TV, and it just doesn't feel natural, right? It's not, first of all, and on top of that, it does literally create harm. So the more I started learning about that, the more I was like, oh my god, okay, so creating blue light filters, going to get my blue light glasses, all those things. Wi-Fi is another energy. All the EMF frequencies that are coming at us, that takes away our energy. So there's levels to this, right? And I try not to get overwhelmed or to just trying to dive in and want to take care of it all, because it does cost money. That is one thing. There's an investment that you make in your health always, right? And it's interesting that the way our systems have been set up, it makes it a little bit more challenging to untangle from them. And when you recognize how dependent we are on these systems and how these systems aren't really for our complete being, our complete wholeness, right? You think about pharmaceuticals. Yes, they may target and help on some level, but they then end up interfering with other parts of ourselves and creating more harm. Not all pharmaceuticals, that's a different story. But I'm just saying, there's always, I feel like when you go against nature, there's a trade-off. There's a trade-off. So my thing is learning how to tune back into these very natural rhythms, right? These natural rhythms of health, of wellness, of living, of healing. And that's been my thing for many years. I find that now being a mother, it's being more optimized because now I have another human that I'm trying to, start from the seed up, the ground up, and really be more mindful. I do not have it down. I'm still learning. There's a lot, right, that I'm deprogramming for myself, and decolonizing throughout this process as well. So anyways, I just wanted to hop on here and say that that's going to be a big part of my channel, is how to optimize our energy from a holistic perspective, and also from the lens of a mother, and recognizing, or for anyone who has very limited time and energy, how do we really gain the most amount of momentum and energy and healing and wellness with the little bit of time we have, because time is so sacred, it is so precious. I'm going to go off on a tangent for a second. This is why I feel it's so important for us to get back into a natural time rhythm. Okay, and I will explain more of that as well. What does that look like, a natural time rhythm, right? Well, real quick. Here I go. Natural time rhythm, even if you just follow the cycles of the sun will let you know when it's time to rest and when it's time to get up. Very simple, very basic, okay? So then when you have man, once again, messing with their time, and you go time back, time forward, it really will throw off your system, and that's a fact. And especially when you learn that really was for more human consumption, to spend more money. Why they created longer days, shorter days, all that. It's a whole thing. But anyways, all that to say is that if you stay tuned to my channel, which I hope you do, because I'm always excited to share, and I'm also inspired to connect with like-minded folks, women, mothers, who are on this journey of wellness, who are on this journey of just finding a more natural flow that's not only going to take care of themselves and their family, but that is natural for the rest of the environment, for all their relations. So then we know we're not creating more harm. Because honestly, the more you recognize how you live, especially if you live in a very modern Western way, we are creating harm. We are creating harm. I mean, just look at the trash we create, right? Oh my God, that's a whole other... So anyways, I will be talking about all those things. When I started looking at all the trash I was creating in my family, and there's only 3 of us, me, my partner, and my baby, I was astounded. I don't know why it never hit me before, but again, becoming a mother, things just started showing up in a way and amplifying in a way that I had never really grounded. So that's a big one. Trash, minimizing, low waste, whatever you want to call it. I know there's a whole movement behind it, but really it's like, yeah, like how are we just not creating harm? And being more mindful and intentional of our choices, and knowing that what we do naturally has an effect on whatever, right? And so being mindful of what that looks like. Anyways, more with that, but thank you for staying tuned. I love to hear what you want to know. What do you want to learn? What are you excited about? What are you inspired about? What would you like me to share? For those of you who've been following me for a while, my channel, you know that I'm really big into just holistic healing and wellness, and even, as a birth doula, I like to share things about birth. I like to share things about womb wellness, all of that. So, yes, I look forward to being in touch, and I'd love to hear from you as well. All right, fam, peace, so many blessings.